Today, I have another real-life case to share. This one is in a middle-class suburb of Melbourne. I'll show you how we managed to turn a piece of land with great development potential into a property with a 6% rental yield. Yes, you heard that right. Let's take a look. I just happened to run into the neighbor next door, and he's renovating his house. This house is beautiful, and there's another large one nearby. With over 90% owner occupancy here, many investors consider adding a granny flat to boost rental income. However, many fail at the first step. Ensuring the land itself is worth holding. It must have development potential and strong value appreciation. If you didn't even choose the right piece of land, right? If your land isn't good, if it doesn't have development potential, if it doesn't have the potential to appreciate, then anything you do after that is just compounding your mistake. You shouldn't be building a granny flat. Instead, you should quickly sell off this property that isn't appreciating and buy one that will increase in value. As you can see, for the property where we added the granny flat at the back for this client, the purchase price was just over $600,000, which is pretty standard, one of our typical results. In about a year, the value increased by around $100,000. In my previous videos, I mentioned this granny flat. A lot of people in the comments ask about the quality of tenants in this kind of situation, whether the tenants might not be good. Let's just take a quick look. The tenant in the front drives a Land Rover, so it's not necessarily as people imagine. It's not necessarily that only people with low incomes would rent this kind of house. In reality, there are people like this in society. They don't want a big house. The tenant just wants a small backyard. He doesn't need a lot of lawn to maintain because he's busy with work, right? All his time is spent making money, so that's why he rents a small house like this. Or subdivided house tenants aren't always bad. Many are professionals like doctors or lawyers. Moving on, the front house rents for $481 weekly. I'm now doing a case study inspection on the new back granny flat. I'm checking the builder's work for any issues to ensure it's ready for the first open inspection. Once cleared, it's ready to rent. This back house in a middle-class Melbourne area rents for $371 a week. We used a concrete foundation here and have monitored the process closely. We are constantly improving our methods. There are many advantages to using a concrete foundation. When it comes to stumping, it lasts much longer, right? The way you build it now is how it will be 50 or even 100 years later. But there's also a major drawback. It's expensive. So since we are building more houses now, the builder has paid out of pocket for this. The builder personally covered an extra $5,000 to upgrade the foundation for this client. Now let's take a look. When you come in, you'll see one of our standard practices, air conditioning. This is to comply with rental laws. There are also standard base cabinets and upper cabinets, stone countertops, and the wall panels in the back room. There's also a smoke alarm, all of which are required to meet rental regulations. At the same time, our designs are open for everyone to reference. For example, we use the latest techniques, the same craftsmanship used in luxury homes for our upper finishes. Also for our bathrooms, the walk-in design means we don't use the traditional shower base anymore. That's really outdated. For example, take a look at this entry door, right? It's actually quite beautiful. It's just that we haven't finished the final landscaping yet. Once the walkway is laid and the grass grows in, actually this house is very beautiful. It's not just a cheap rental. Honestly, if we were to do Airbnb, this house could easily be used as a guest house because you simply can't find another property in the area with the same features. And today, regarding this granny flat, I also want to emphasize again that building a granny flat to increase your rental income is a very smart strategy. However, the key is that you must choose the right location first. You shouldn't blindly invest a large amount of money to build a granny flat and add a second source of rental income if you've already chosen the wrong piece of land in the first place.